Today we're going to talk about the EA vowel team. Remember, a vowel team is when you have two vowel letters, in this case E and A, right next to each other, and together they represent only one sound. Now, the EA vowel team can be a little tricky because it can make two different sounds depending on which word it's in. The more common one is to make the long E sound, E, like in beach. The less common one is to make the short E sound, like bread. Throughout today's activities, it will be helpful for you to have a piece of paper and pencil or a whiteboard so that you can do the activities along with me. Let's begin. The first thing we want to do is to warm up our brain in listening for those sounds. I'm going to say a word. I want you to listen to see if it has one of those two sounds that the EA vowel team makes, either E like beach or like bread. If it has one of those two sounds, give me a thumbs up and then point to which sound it's making, E or eh. If it does not say E or I just want you to give me a thumbs down because that means it's not using the EA vowel team. I'll do the first one. Let's say I have the word bead. I stretch the sounds, b, e, d. That's a thumbs up. It has one of these two sounds, and specifically it has the long E sound like in beach, bead, beach. Let's do another one. The word is beak. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Beak. Thumbs up. Does beak say E like beach or like bread? E like beach. Nice job. Dread. Thumbs up. Dread says like bread. What about dried? Thumbs down. Dried says I. I is not E or What about heat? Thumbs up. Heat says E like beach. What about leech? Thumbs up. Leech says E like beach. What about preach? Thumbs up. Preach says E like beach. What about poach? Thumbs down. Poach says O. O is not E or What about death? Thumbs up. Death says like bread. What about reach? Thumbs up. Reach says E like beach. What about team? Thumbs up. Team says E like beach. What about heads? Thumbs up. Heads says like bread. What about hide? Thumbs down. Hide says I. I is not E or What about sweat? Thumbs up. Sweat says like bread. What about sneak? Thumbs up. Sneak says E like beach. What about snack? Thumbs down. Snack says is not E or What about thread? Thumbs up. Thread says like bread. What about ream? Thumbs up. Ream says E like beach. Nice job. Now that we've thought about the sounds in words, we can use those sounds to help us to write words. Watch me as I do the first one. The first word I want to think about is weak, like I was feeling very weak after not eating for 24 hours. I stretch the sounds. W, E, k. Weak has that long E sound like beach. In this case, that long E sound is spelled with the EA vowel team. I stretch those sounds, w, E, k, and I think about what letters represent each sound. W is the letter W. E, that's the long E sound like beach. That's the EA vowel team. K is the letter K. W, E, k. This follows our pattern because the E and A are working together to represent one sound, the long E sound, like in beach. Let's do another one. This time I have it colored in pink because this is not an example of our pattern. Watch me as I show you. The word is wake. I stretch the sounds. W, A, k. Very similar. Starts with the same, ends with the same, but the vowel sound is different. W, A, k. A is not E or That's why I know it's not going to have the EA vowel team. When I represent those sounds with letters, W is the letter W, A is a long A, K is the letter K, and we put that silent E on there to make the A have the long vowel sound. So notice this does not follow our pattern. Because it has the A sound instead of E or E, it cannot be the EA vowel team. Sometimes people can see these two vowels looking together and they get confused and they want to make it have the long A sound because that comes last in the vowel team. But remember, EA says E like beach or E like bread. It does not say A. Are you ready? Let's do one together. The word is health. What's the word? Health. Let's stretch the sounds. O, th. These can be tricky to separate. Really pay attention to how your tongue is moving. That's how you know that you've got a different sound between L, L. And you feel how your tongue moves from not touching your teeth to touching your teeth? Let's stretch it one more time. L. Now let's think about our pattern. The sound was E. E is like bread, so we can use the EA vowel team to spell it. What letter represents the sound? H. What letters did we say represent the short E sound E? The EA vowel team. What letter represents the L sound? L. What letters represent the sound at the end? The digraph TH. Health. Health. This follows our pattern because the E and A are working together as a vowel team to represent the short E sound, E. Excellent. Let's do another one. The word is dream. What's the word? Dream. Help me to stretch the sounds. D, r, e, m. Dream. Think about the pattern. Does this vowel sound, E, sound like E in beach or E in bread? Yeah, it's the long E sound. We can use the EA vowel team to spell that long E sound. Stretch the sounds in dream one more time. D, r, e, m. Dream. What letter represents the D sound? D. What letter represents the R sound? R. What letters work together to represent the E sound, like in beach? EA. What letter represents the M sound? M. This follows our pattern because the E and A are working together to represent the long E sound, like in beach. D, r, e, m. Dream. Nice job. These next three words I want you to do on your own. This would be a great time to use that whiteboard and pencil, or whiteboard and marker, or paper and pencil. The first word I want you to stretch and write is flea. There was a flea on the dog. Flea. Stretch the sounds. Listen carefully to those sounds. Does one of the vowels make the E like beach or E like bread? Go ahead and represent each sound by the appropriate letters. Flea. Let's see how you did. Flea has three sounds. F, O, E. It has the long E sound like beach, so we can use the EA vowel team to represent that long E sound. The F is represented by the letter F. O is the letter L. Flea is spelled F-L-E-A. F-O-E. Flea. Nice job. The next word is threat. What's the word? Threat. Go ahead and stretch the sounds. In threat, does it say E like beach or E like bread? Go ahead and write the word threat, matching each sound to the appropriate letters. Threat. Let's see how you did. Threat has four sounds. T. It has the E sound, which is the short E like bread, so I can use the EA vowel team to represent that short E sound. E. Is represented with the TH digraph. R is represented by the letter R. E is the EA vowel team. T is the letter T. T. Threat. Notice there's a lot of letters there, but only four sounds, which is why we're putting those letters together, because they work together to represent one sound. Nice job. The last one we're going to do is beans. We had beans with our tacos last night. Beans. Go ahead and stretch the sounds. Listen carefully to that word. Does beans say E like beach or E like bread? Beans. Go ahead and write the letters that represent each sound in the word beans. Check your spelling. Is every sound represented? Let's look how you did. Beans has 4 sounds. B, E, N, S. Beans. It has the long E sound like beach, so we can use the EA vowel team to represent that long E sound. The B is the letter B. E, the long E sound, is the EA vowel team. N is the letter N. S is the letter S. Beans. Beans. Excellent. So you can really see how important it is to know what sounds go with that EA vowel team so that when you hear those sounds, you can use the EA vowel team appropriately and not use it when it does not match the long E sound or the short E sound. We can use these patterns to also help us to read words. Watch me as I do the first one. When I look at this word, I try to see, are there any letters that are working together to represent a common sound, a single sound? I see that EA vowel team. Those 2 letters are working together to make one sound. I also see the CH digraph. Those 2 letters are working together to make one sound. Then I'm just left with the letter P, which is making its own sound, and the letter R, which is making its own sound. This word has 4 sounds. I can blend those sounds together. When I get to the EA vowel team, I'm going to try the more common sound of E, like beach, first. If it doesn't sound right, then I'll try the like bread. Ready? Watch as I blend it. P-er-e-ch, preach, preach. Well, yeah, a pastor could preach in church. That sounds good. If I'm not sure, I can always try the short sound as well, since that's the second sound that's common. P-er-etch, pretch. Nope, that's not a word. It is definitely the long E sound like beach. P-er-e-ch, preach. Let's do this one together. Do you see any letters that are working together to make a single sound? Yeah, I see the EA vowel team as well. What about the rest of the letters? Each of these letters is representing its own sound. The S, the P, the R, and the D, they all make their own sound in this word. They're all their own consonant sounds. So they each get their own box. The only ones that go together is the EA vowel team. Let's practice blending it together. When we get to the EA, we're going to try E like beach. If it doesn't sound right, we'll try like bread. Ready? Spreed. Spreed. I don't think I've heard that one. Let's try like bread. Spread. 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 Yeah, like spread peanut butter on my bread. That works. So in this case, the EA vowel team was read with the short E sound, Let's try this one as well. Do you see any letters that are working together to make a single sound? Yeah, the EA vowel team again. 2 letters working together to make one sound. What about the rest of the letters? Each one is making its own sound. The S makes its own sound, the W makes its own sound, and the T makes its own sound. Let's go ahead and blend them together, making sure that we start first thinking about E like beach. Ready? Sweet. Sweet. Sweet! I know what sweet is. I like sweets. But you know what? I've seen sweet, like a sweet lollipop or dessert in a book before, and it didn't look like this. It wasn't EA. Let's try to see if that's a word. Sweat. Sweat. Well, that's also a word. This is a tricky one, isn't it? It does make sounds like sweet. There is words that say sweet, and there are words that say sweat, like when you get hot and sweaty. In this case, EA is representing the short E sound, S-W-E-A-T spells sweat, like when you're hot and sweaty. But the sounds match also for sweet. So in this case, if you see this word and you try both E and and they both sound right, usually you're going to have to use the sentence around it to help you to figure out what is the right pronunciation. chances are good the sentence is going to sound very different if they're talking about sweat than if they're talking about sweet. So this word here, S-W-E-A-T, is sweat, like bread. These next three I want you to try on your own. You can use your whiteboard and paper to write down the words and write those sound boxes. You'll probably need to pause the video so you have enough time to practice and to find out how to decode each word. When you're ready to read them along with me, you can hit play again. Go ahead and pause now to read the words. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and see what we can find in these words. Were there any letters working together to make one sound? Yeah, they all have that EA vowel team, don't they? So in each one of these words, the E and A are working together to make one sound. Are there any other letters working together? This word also has the CH digraph, two letters working together to make one sound. What about the rest of the letters? Each one of the rest of the letters is just making its own consonant sound, so they're all just going to have one box around them. Let's pause and read this word right here. Did you start with the long E sound? Sneak. Sneak. That worked perfectly. That's a word that I know. I can move on to my next one. What about this one? Did you try the long E sound? Beach. Beach. Well, that worked out slick too. Sneak, beach. What about this last one? Each consonant made its own sound. There's no other digraphs other than the vowel digraph, that vowel team. When we read it with the long E sound, d-er-eed, dreed. That's not a word. Let's try it with the short E sound, d-er-ed, dread. Dread. Like when I really don't want to do something, I dread it. So sometimes it makes the long E sound. That's the more common one. Sometimes it makes the short E sound. You've done a lot of really good thinking here, paying attention to that EA vowel team, two letters working together to represent one sound. We learned that the EA vowel team can either say E like beach or like bread, with it being slightly more common for it to say E like beach. Go ahead and move on to your next activity for the day.